You want to get into some UFO shit?
Let's fucking do it. Yeah, because I just want to smoke some more weed. This is the UFO Report with Brian McClure.
So you remember how we were talking the other week about the fact that they went into a skiff, the people who got told about the UFO stuff went into a skiff and didn't even get David Grush there, and like there was all this bullshit that went on behind the scenes, and the Congressman Tim Burchett's like, no, we're gonna get Grush here, and if we have to, slide it in on the back of some kind of bill, we're gonna do it. Well, they fucking did that shit. Check this out.
I rise in support of this amendment, which would increase/decrease funding to express that the Office of Personnel Management should renew the security clearance of David Grush. See, Mr. Grush formerly served as the Reconnaissance Office representative to the UAP Task Force from 2019 to 2021. He recently testified before Congress, claiming that partial fragments and even intact vehicles have been found for decades by the federal government, our allies, and defense contractors. According to Mr. Grush, objects and vehicles retrieved are of, quote, exotic origin based on the vehicle's morphologies and material science testing and the possession of unique atomic arrangements and radiological signatures.
That's kind of crazy, dude, to think that, if this was like 10 years ago, nobody would have the balls to do this. Nobody in their right mind would destroy their career going up and asking and to put in this slide it into the back part of a bill, get the bill passed so that we could get that. This is what it takes to get this guy to come tell the truth.
Mr. Grush also told us that the U.S. is in possession of non-human spacecraft and dead pilots. And finally, Mr. Grush told us that he has spoken with the intelligence officials whom the U.S. military had briefed on, quote, football field-sized aircrafts, that the U.S. government transferred some crashed UAPs to defense contractor, and that the intelligence officials were also briefed on malevolent activity from extraterrestrial beings.
So there we go. Got thrown in. Jeremy Corbell put this out. Wow, go UFO. An amendment passed today to get David Grush into a skiff with those he testified to in Congress under oath at the public UFO hearing. So it's going to happen soon. Let's see how this plays out, man. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, never thought that you'd see some of the stuff that's going on. So Grush is going to be, sounds like he's going to be heading to Washington again to, spill the beans, so to say. Check it out.
An amendment by the House Oversight Committee will allow the guy on your screen, whistleblower Dave Grush, to give details, top secret information about UFOs, including what he had heard about alien bodies, and to now give it to members of Congress. Is today a day in the right direction? Investigative journalist Jeremy Corbell. It's good to see you, brother. Do you believe this is the moment?
Well, this is a moment. Like, as you said, today is a good day to push back against David Grush and what he testified to under oath during the congressional hearing. I mean, it was powerful. He said, I have the UFO program names. I have holding locations of intact non-human intelligence vehicles, one the size of a football field, not just spacecraft. But he says pilots, locations of non-human tech, and biologics, which is the word bodies.
That's the craziest thing to me still to this day, that the alien part, right? Not just that they're saying aliens are real, right? But the fact that we've had bodies and we've had live aliens. And if we can get some stories and some proof about that, holy shit, I hope it happens before Lyndon Moulton Howe dies.
I hope she does. I hope she does. And then she never gets to hear it.
Did you see? No, of course you didn't. Linda Moulton Howe had an episode the other night where she talked about the supposed pod, escape pod from the one of the Roswell crashes went. And
Just play it.
no, I'm not going to play it, but there is going to be something I'm going to talk about. So, the talk about these aliens and these alien bodies, basically what she said is that the pod was taken to a base, right? And in Nevada, I forget what it is. It wasn't S4 or the Nellis Air Force Range. It was southeast of that. And basically, she said that, or the whistleblower that sent her this information supposedly said that they couldn't get it open. It took them until 1972 to finally get the damn thing open. And when they got it open, there was 2 bodies in there, right? And they were dead bodies. Now, that takes us to some crazy news that's been happening with those what we thought were fake bodies from Jaime Maussan, right? You remember that shit? Remember those they look like cake? Like
Yeah, they
cake?
keep popping up on my feed constantly. Didn't they say there's hundreds of them? No, or something like
Well,
that.
now
Or
there's
they
2
have
more.
hundreds.
Yeah, there's 2 more that have supposedly been released. And by the way, you guys, supposedly testing on these things has come back that they are hybrid DNA. They are bodies. These things aren't fake. I don't know if I believe that
Yeah,
necessarily.
according
This
to
is
who?
one according to there was a second Mexican Congress or Mexican Senate hearing that happened over the last week. Okay. And Jaime Maussan brought the testing results that they got from those bodies. By the way, these are the 2 new ones that there supposedly is. So Jaime Maussan got the new results about those bodies, supposedly. And they came back that they were real. Let me go ahead and see if I can find
What does
them
that
here.
mean?
That they weren't fake, that they had hybrid DNA, some type of hybrid DNA, which is very weird. Yeah, some weird shit. Let me see if I can find this. This is all the Peru stuff so far. All right, here we go. The Nazca mummies, it says, in the past 4 years, no one has studied the bodies in person in Peru and has concluded that they are fabricated. Claims of the fakery have mostly come from individuals who have personally examined the bodies. The University of Ica of ICA is accredited, the highest accreditation in Peru, ensuring adherence to scientific method. The information shared is based on a letter read during a congressional hearing with the university's permission. That was this last week. The San Luis Gonzaga National University of ICA, Peru, received 4 dissected bodies with human and reptilian characteristics in 2019 for research. The largest body, known as Maria, has anatomical differences such as an elongated skull and 3 digits on both hands and feet. The smaller bodies, approximately 60 centimeters in length, exhibit significant differences from the human anatomy with reptilian-like skin and 3-digit extremities. Metallurgical analysis of a metallic implant in one of the bodies revealed the presence of osmium, a rare element used in electronic devices and sensors. Preliminary results indicate that more extensive studies are needed to confirm the nature of these bodies. The research team faced various challenges, including budget limitations and legal interference. The research team's approach is focused on studying biological bodies of unknown origin, not making speculative claims about their nature. The intention is solely to advance scientific knowledge and seek objective answers regarding the authenticity of specimens. The research team concludes that the studied bodies are authentic from a biological standpoint and show no signs of tampering or assembly. In summary, the letter from the university provides detailed information about the dissected 3-digit humanoid bodies, emphasizing their authenticity from a biological perspective and the rigorous scientific approach taken in their study. So that's the first team that looked at it. They said they were going to have these bodies looked at. I don't know what to believe on these. I still feel like these are fake as hell, man. I really still feel like these are fake.
Me too, dude. It looks fake as fuck.
Yeah, in a big way.
Plus, isn't it interesting how they still use the language of aliens, but now in the U.S., especially with Grush and everybody, they're saying non-human entities.
Yeah.
Like, what? I mean, I don't know. Why do you think they call it? Why do they use that? Like, why won't they say alien anymore? Stigma?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, it's just like we're wacky if you're an alien, so it's just
yeah. This is saying that Jaime Maussan will be vindicated because of this news. I don't know if I believe
Didn't
that
you
either.
tell me this guy's a douche though? This
He
Maussan?
is.
Yeah.
He has been known to be a fraud in the past. So,
is he the
wanna
guy
hear
kind of
something
guy
crazy?
that admits that shit, or is he doubled down?
Oh, he'll never admit it.
Oh,
He'll
geez.
never admit it.
No, fuck that guy then.
Yeah. Remember how we were talking about James Fox? Yeah. Remember?
Yeah, James Fox, he's killing it. He said doesn't he think people are after him or something, or some people are
Yeah.
trying to discredit him or something?
Yeah, he put this out. He said, I wanted to share a rather devastating career issue I've been dealing with over the last 8 months. I can't go too much into detail at this moment, but more will come soon. Your support means the world to me.
Yeah,
So it
play
sounds
that
like
shit.
people are really trying to fuck with him behind the scenes.
Hello, everybody. Sitting in my favorite spot. I hike up to this point pretty much daily. Think about my work and edits.
Saying that
I'm
as a
working
decoy.
on how I'm putting the film together. But I'm writing this post because I've been holding something in for the last 6 months, dealing with
A lot big
career-related
Yeah,
issues.
and I've been holding in something for the last
likes of
few
which
hours.
I've never experienced in my entire life. So challenging. It feels like someone's trying to extinguish my career. It's pretty terrifying. I'll probably be going public with it later this week. For legal reasons, I can't discuss it right now, but I wanted to give you all a heads up and thank you for all your support. It means the world to me.
Okay, here's my immediate thoughts. People are after me. He's never been in that spot in his life, but he's like, yeah, I come here all the time, every day, blah, 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 because it's a decoy. You know what I mean?
It could be. Yeah. Could be. I like what this Michelangelo guy said. I follow him on Twitter. He says, James Fox says he, quote, feels like someone is trying to extinguish my career. It's pretty terrifying. Says he will go public. And this guy basically put like if James Fox is saying this, then it's got to be something crazy.
I follow that dude too.
Yeah.
Who is he exactly? Just some Twitter guy?
Yeah, just some Twitter guy. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Like him and that Claus dude seems like he has a stronghold on the UFO Twitter community and has support from Tom DeLonge and shit.
Have I showed you this yet? This is a new video from Peru, a security guard in Peru.
Yeah, last week. I played this video too, but we played it again because it's pretty wild.
Yeah. Oh, there we fucking go. Am I lagging?
Lame ass internet. Just the video. You're fine.
Un ovni. Osuna, mira. Mira, mira cómo se para. Mira, mira. ¿Viste? ¿Viste? Ya, pero mira, mira cómo puta, mira, qué locazo, weón. Qué locazo, weón.
Was it supposed to be aliens or something?
I don't know. Oh, there it is. These are people walking right there.
They found those little alien dudes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Have you ever seen how crazy mountainous like Peru and the left side of South America is compared to the rest of the continent? Like crazy high, and then it just flattens out kind of for the rest of it.
Yeah.
They could be hiding out in those motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So, all right. So the Peru stuff. Check this shit out. Remember the guy that went down there?
Oh yeah. He never.
The fuselage of the craft is shaped somewhat like an acorn, with the narrow part being the nose and the wider part the aft.
He draws
They're
a
about
dick.
the length of a private jet, but much wider, and in the place of wings, they have small, rounded protrusions which fold open and deploy a series of rapidly blinking lights. The craft have been viewed hovering above the village at very low altitude, some 30 to 40 feet, and have no apparent propulsion systems such as engines or propellers. In one case, the craft appeared to be completely transparent, and two pilots could be seen sitting inside. Like the circular platforms, the craft are completely silent, except when they accelerate, at which point they make a low-frequency hum.
So
The fuselage.
the things that the silver plates. Remember how he said the silver plates? Those are supposedly this shit. They say they're beings that look like this on plates.
You know what's interesting about that is the individual that sent us UFO footage and pictures. She sent a photo and claimed to see these Silver Surfer type characters too. Remember that?
So yeah, check this shit out. Watch.
Question, and it was simply, Talia, please tell us what happened to you.
Toma tu tiempo, yo sé que es difícil. It extremely traumatized this girl.
She just stood there and trembled, head to foot, trembled for probably a good 2 minutes, just stood there silent, trembling. She could not speak. Obviously, something very traumatic had happened to her right there in the backyard where we were standing. And the assailants were my height, I'm 6'1", reminded her of the assailants because they were very tall. So what happened to Talia? What happened to this young lady is that one night, one evening, she was picking fruit from her tree. And this was right after dusk, so it just got dark. She's picking fruit from the tree. She's knocking the fruit down with this long stick, and the fruit falls to the ground. Talia proceeds to bend over and pick up the fruit that fell to the ground, and there are under the tree there are some dead leaves, and suddenly she feels this gust of wind behind her, and the leaves she notices rustle. She goes to pick up the fruit. She feels this gust of wind, and the leaves are rustling a little bit on the ground, and so she looks behind her, and what does she see? She sees a person coming up the hill, because the backyard is kind of a little gully. It's forested. There's some jungle there between the other houses. So it's this little gully. We have it on film. And she sees this guy, this person, this thing coming up the hill, almost as if he's surfing on one of these circular platforms.
Crazy, dude. It's weird, right?
Yeah. What's that dude's name again?
That guy's name is Timothy Albierno. He did a really good show with Jimmy Church the other day, but this one he's talking to the guy that was going down there that we were talking about the other day. Mm-hmm. Where is it?
Oh yeah,
this guy right here. Remember talking about him? So yeah, very interesting, dude. That whole thing. The Peru cases keep going on, you know. So very weird, man. All right, so I kind of got into something crazy last week that it's old stories, but I love hearing about or seeing those old stories, and that's the old Majestic 12 papers had, if you guys here, if you guys know what I'm talking about, there were these papers that released these Majestic 12 the Magic papers and Majestic 12 papers. Let me find this.
How'd you come across this again?
It's in my algorithm, I guess you could say. So these are the top secret Majestic Magic Eyes Only papers about extraterrestrial and technical entities and retrieval of downed UFOs and stuff. And they tell this story in there about how it's the same story we always hear about how basically that story about in the 50s we got the one of the bodies from the Roswell crash lived, and we took it to a base, and at first it wouldn't talk to us, it played coy. It would like only answer questions that they knew like didn't involve any yes or anything but a yes or no answer type thing. And then they created a relationship with it, and it told them stuff, and that's what turned into that yellow book that Bob Lazar talks about, which is very interesting. So if you get a chance, go check out those Majestic.
This is from the Roswell crash. The aliens. Oh.
Yeah.
What was the other crash where they couldn't open it and they were dead?
That was from the Roswell crash. So the Roswell crash the Roswell crash is two crashes. Okay, it was in two places. It was the ship and escape pods. Okay, so and the ship, there was just a crash, and then there was the two escape pods, and one of the escape pods had a live alien that they did save, and the other one we couldn't get open, because they were already dead in there. So
so these files explain what they were told from these aliens?
Yeah.
And what does it say? What they tell them?
I'm trying to pull it up.
And where are these files from? Like, who is this all according to? Is this just shit that leaked, or?
So these got leaked in the 70s, I think. And a lot of this stuff is being talked about in the Eric Davis, Admiral Wilson notes that have been proved to be real now. We talked about those a while ago. All right, here we go. I lost it. Maybe what I'll do is for next week, I'm going to do a breakdown of the Majestic 12 documents and what got leaked and what they say about aliens and the alien bodies. Because I always tell that story about how this alien, was alive and we took it. But one of the cool things that they talk about in there is when they had this alien at this base, they couldn't, and these bodies, they couldn't figure anything out about it. But once they figured out, the first thing they started figuring out that led them somewhere on these bodies is that their bodies are like plants. The way that they get energy and get rid of waste is like photosynthesis, like plants, right? So, which just was amazing when I heard that. I don't remember ever hearing that, and this is why. The guy that they brought in was a special botanist, a microbiologist and botanist that ended up being the head of the alien program for the government. And one of the craziest stories that I've ever heard is about this guy named Dan Burrish, that was a microbiologist that supposedly worked at Area 51, and he worked with one of the live aliens that was there that he called J-Rod, and supposedly that they had microbiologists there because their bodies are so much like plants, I guess, which is very interesting. So I'm gonna dig deep into that.
How
and
are
I'm
they
gonna
communicating with them telepathically, or
So the stories I've heard is that the first alien that they got, it wasn't telepathic. It was when they first started talking to him, it was through like pictures. They couldn't figure out a way to communicate with them until
kind
they
of like
figured out
that one movie where they have the symbols and they're talking through symbols
Yes.
and shit? I
Yep.
forgot what that movie's
Yep.
called. Arrival.
Yeah, Arrival. Yep. And they finally started working through pictures, and then they figured out a way to talk to each other. But it took years for this alien to like
Open
up. Yeah. And he ended up dying in the 50s, I guess. And because of that, they sent a distress signal to have more aliens come, and that is the ones that supposedly talk to Eisenhower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down those really well and bring a bunch of stuff and talk about it, because I think it's fascinating, and we'll see where all those come from. And then I'll break down a little bit of the Daniel Burrish story too.
Yeah, definitely. That's fucking interesting as fuck.
Yeah.
Word, dude.
Yeah, so I love that type of stuff. All right, hold on here. So this is interesting. Supposedly, UFO crashed in Hawaii.
Recently?
See this?
But multiple witnesses. Officials from the Federal Aviation Administration say there were no aircraft incidents or accidents in this area Tuesday night, but multiple witnesses report seeing a large blue object fall out of the sky and into the ocean.
Something is in the sky. What is that?
This video was taken by Misitina Sape at 8:26 Tuesday night near Haleakala Avenue in Nanakuli. Not long after, a woman named Mariah spotted the same thing passing over Princess Kahanu Estates.
And then I was like, oh,
what the fuck?
Started calling my husband in because it was all in the garage. I was like, hey, look up there. See what I see. They all said, yeah.
The 38-year-old says she's never really been a believer in UFOs, but the bright blue object had them so intrigued, they jumped in the car and started following it.
I don't know what it was. This one was going so fast.
The journey ended less than 3 miles from where it began, on Farrington Highway in front of the Board of Water Supply building, after the object appeared to drop into the ocean.
Oh, the land in the water, whatever it is.
She described it as being larger than a telephone pole and says she never heard it make any sound.
We called 911 if I have
larger than a telephone
somebody
pole.
could come out and come check them out.
While officers were on scene, she says they spotted a second light.
My husband went and looked up and he seen the white one coming. The white one was smaller, was coming in the same direction as the blue one.
They lost sight of the object after it passed over a nearby mountain.
Crazy. So there's one of your new sightings for the week.
Yeah, I think it's pretty wild how just within the last few years, it's just become common to see UFOs associated with water. That was really never a thing before.
You're
now
right.
It's like a thing where it seems like we've been talking about it the entire time, but it's honestly only been like I feel like 3 years or so, 4 years.
Yeah. Here's some some other cool, interesting UFO stuff. Hold on here.
I mean, it makes the most sense. It's like almost kind of like that hiding in plain sight deal.
You remember when we were talking last week about the Chinese spy balloon? This isn't like UFO stuff, but it's kind of about the Chinese. It's about the Chinese spy balloon. I didn't realize how high those things were, dude. And the actual Chinese spy balloon. Check this out. This says this is from Alex Hollings, former fighter pilot, I guess. It says, I don't think people realize just how high up that F-22 balloon intercept was this past February. The balloon was at an estimated 65,000 feet at the time of intercept. That's 5,000 feet above the barrier we commonly call the Armstrong limit. At that altitude, body fluids like saliva, tears, and blood boil at room temperature.
Holy shit.
The F-22 launched the missile at around 58,000 feet. That's 8,000 feet above the F-35 service ceiling, and that's 2,000 feet shy of the Armstrong limit. So that thing was fucking way up there, man.
I'm confused now. So last week you mentioned the Chinese spy balloon was actually them shooting down UFOs, but this is actually a Chinese spy balloon. So is it different things?
There was multiple things that happened at the same time, right? So you had the Chinese spy balloons that were shot over the lower 48, right? That
And then there's one in Alaska, right?
And then there's the stuff in Alaska that Ross Coulter was saying that was
and that's
UFOs.
the UFO. I see. Okay. And where was that in the United States? Just somewhere in the Midwest or something, or where they shot it down?
Shot down over South Carolina.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
There's a video of it. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, absolutely crazy, man.
Do you think they got a lot of information from that balloon? What they needed?
Probably not. You know what I mean? Hopefully, but I doubt it. Probably at that point they were just trying to do whatever they can just to get rid of it. Get it out of our quote unquote airspace.
It almost shows how easy it is for them to do one of those. What are those attacks called? Where like it deactivates devices. An EMP attack. They just fucking fly something over, EMT the fuck out of a few cities. Like they should have shot that motherfucker before it hit the fucking beach. You know what I mean, or wherever the fuck it came from. Not like fucking 3/4 of the way across the country. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, they should have shot it down right away. I think that they were there for some reason. They were scared to. I don't know why, but they didn't want to shoot it down for the longest time, which was very freaking
safety
weird.
reasons or something. Or,
yeah. So I got another cool thing to show you. This is a guy named Chris Leto, and he has a page called the Leto Files. He's a ufologist, and there's a famous case called the Ghost Rocket case that happened in 1947 in Norway. Very famous case called the Ghost Rocket case, and supposedly those ships crashed into this lake, and so this guy went up there and they started trying to find out where those are. And check this out.
This is the same year as Roswell, right?
Yeah.
Okay, update from Norway. So the first boat went in, got the sideband sonar, and they have multi-band sonar, and they found the same object. So they found the object. It's still there. They mapped it. And Torok said he thinks it's a 20-meter long, smooth object on the surface. So it's just laying on the bed. About 70 feet down. So it's not that deep, even though it's named Djupsjøen, which means deep lake. It's only at 70 feet. And now they are sending the rover, if you can see here behind me. Now this boat is going in. They have the points mapped. They're going to go right there and put down the rover, and we'll have video from the bottom of this lake. Where in 1947, witnesses say an object crashed, floated for 20 minutes, and then there was no sound when it disappeared. There was sound when it arrived, but none when it disappeared.
I want to see the video where they pull it out. Where's that video?
Let's see if there's any updates.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like it. No updates yet.
These guys are gonna disappear. They unalive themselves.
Yeah.
Like all of them? They all unalive themselves? Jesus. What a coincidence. I mean, I hope that's real, dude. Could you imagine if it's just a bunch of just randoms that pull out a UFO out of a lake?
That would be crazy, dude. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens. Who knows? But yeah, that is basically the UFO report for tonight.
Sweet, dude.